The usefulness of this coordinate system is primarily when we already know what the path of motion is going to be. Right? So for example, for very sorry, किसी को पास करने में किसको नाम आते हैं जिनके सारे लड़कों के नाम आते हैं वो करते हैं. You can ignore the obviously the people in the meeting. You don't know who they are. They're just the people in the class. Okay, so the usefulness of this coordinate system is for paths where we already know, for motions where we already know what the path is going to be. For example, as I've given you the example of airplanes, of cars, because you already know कि उसने उसी सड़क पे जाना है, and so on. And even for some particular type of rockets, they don't need to be ballistic. They can be ones which उनको क्या दूसरे वालों को क्या कहते थे जो self directing खुद ठीक कर रहे होते हैं. Guided vector, exactly. If you, so long as you know कि उसकी क्या path होगी, then this NT coordinate system is useful. Now we will also be looking at another coordinate system, and that is the R theta coordinate system. So I've just popped this table up here, जिसको हम बाद में भी revisit करेंगे, which is comparing the what happens to the origin and the unit vectors for each of these coordinate systems. So you recall कि हमने we had considered the XY coordinate system, for which we had a fixed origin and fixed unit vectors. Now the interesting thing about the NT coordinate system is that, by the way, NT stands for normal and tangential coordinate system. The interesting thing is that the origin actually moves with the particle, and the basis vectors are actually also continually, if they're related to the origin, aren't they? So they are also changing their directions. Okay, and they move with the particle, as it says right here. So yeah, so let's jump into the normal and tangential components and see how we define these coordinates in particular. So as I've already mentioned, our origin lies on the particle, and then we define our two coordinates, the two basis coordinates, the n and the t. Now, as the name implies, the n coordinate is the one that's normal, and the t coordinate is the one that's tangential to the path. Okay? So it's always actually a little bit more easy to start off with a tangential one, right? Because tangent की तो direction हमें निकालनी आती है using differentiation and so on. So that's why I'm going to start off with just clarifying the tangential component. Okay, so the tangential component at each point of the path is always at a tangent to it. Okay, right. And then the positive direction for it, मतलब ये कि ठीक है यहाँ पे ये tangent तो बना लिया है. Is it going to be positive in this direction or positive in this direction? We take it to be positive in the direction of positive velocity. मतलब ये कि अगर वो particle was moving along this direction in the path, right, वो ऐसे move कर रहा है, it's moving like so, then we will define the tangent in the direction of the motion. Okay? So that's how we define tangent, positive direction. And of course, then the normal direction, the normal coordinate is going to be perpendicular to the tangent. So it's going to be perpendicular. And for the normal unit vector, we define it to be positive towards the center of curvature of the path at that point. Let's consider what this center of curvature exactly is. Okay, so two things. So the normal unit basis vector is positive towards the center of curvature, and the positive t direction is defined positive in the direction of positive velocity. That is, whichever direction it's moving in. Okay. Yes. So let me, with ये जब दो चीज़ें हमें समझ आ गई, तो let's look at an example कि जैसे अगर path is changing like this, then what will be the positive directions for the n and t coordinates? So clearly, let's look at this point A. At point A, if I just draw the tangent, then I know, okay, that will be the direction of the t coordinate with the positive sign, मतलब positive direction given, because I know कि वो इधर से इस direction में move कर रहा है, arrows बने हुए छोटे छोटे, ठीक, उससे I know कि positive velocity या फिर direction of motion is in this way. That's why the t direction is positive, like so. And then for the normal direction, we will consider it to be positive towards the center of curvature. So clearly उसका center of curvature मतलब इधर कहीं उसका center of curvature है जिसके about वो path curve हो रही है. Right? Okay. And then for B point, similarly, we have a tangent, again positive in this direction because the motion is that way, and the unit normal being upwards again because ये देखें इसकी direction of curving क्या है, उससे मुझे पता चल रहा है कि center उसका कहीं इधर होगा. Okay? Or finally C का it's sloping in the opposite direction. That's why I know that the center of curvature lies somewhere here, and hence the n direction is actually pointing in this way now. Okay, so just be careful about this center of curvature. It's basically that point जो कि अगर हम उस particular path को approximate कर रहे होते ना with some sort of a circle, तो फिर वो center of that circle कहाँ होता? That's what the center of curvature essentially is, right? So as you can notice, a center of a circle जो होता है वो it lies inside it, right? That is, it lies inside the concave side of the circle. So similarly, the center of curvature भी lies on the concave side of the path. Okay, right. Perfect. So that's a little straightforward. Nothing too fancy here. We've got our directions for the tangent and normal directions sorted. Now let's move to defining each of our. अब हमारे basis vectors जब हो गए तो फिर हम आगे चलते हैं अपनी position, velocities and so on. So just a funny thing is that even though I said that the origin is moving with the particle, origin is on the particle, लेकिन the position of our particle जो है ना उसको हम फिर भी relative to a fixed point ही define करते हैं. Okay, and that fixed point basically it's जो भी perhaps it's the starting point of the particle on the path. So normally it's taken just कि वो path यहाँ से शुरू हो रही थी and we measure the position along the path. मतलब ये कि अगर वो curvilinear path है, so this position is going to be a curvilinear just magnitude की value. Okay, and we do away with position being vector in this case because we just use the distance along the path to define our position for NT coordinates. Okay, perfect. So now that we know what our position is, then we can jump to looking at our velocity and acceleration. Now coming to the velocity. Now, as you can imagine, in this case as well, the velocity is the rate of change of displacement. लेकिन हम उसको ज़रा directly consider कर लेते हैं, which is basically के sorry. If I had my particle at this point initially, and then it moves to this point at a time delta t, let's say, तो उसका change in position कितना होगा? ये del s हो गया in time delta t. So my velocity as before is still, अगर मैं average velocity निकाल रही होती, it would have been this delta s divided by delta t. I don't know, आज फिर कुछ something is always going wrong with the writing pad. I'm sorry for that. In any case, I hope you can see that I'd written that V average is equals to delta s divided by delta t, which in the infinitesimal limit goes to ds by dt. Now that's at least we know the magnitude of it. Okay, that will still be the rate of change of position. Rate of displacement. But what do we know about, agar if I want to now start to write this in terms of vectors, in terms of the basis vectors, the normal and tangent directions, then what do I know about the velocity? Recall even जब हमने rectilinear motion किया था तो हमने ये बात emphasize की थी that the velocity is always tangential to the path. Why? Because it's the change in position. जो कि change in position at a point जो है ना, it will always be tangential. That is, if I look at the vector form sort of कि r2 minus r1, वो तो हमेशा tangent पे ही होगा उसके. Which is why the velocity is always going to be tangent to the path, and I know कि मैंने अपना एक coordinate tangent to the path define किया था, उसकी definition ही ये थी, right? So that's why I can straightforwardly write के okay, magnitude तो आ गया ds by dt से directly, उसकी vector direction is then given by the unit normal in that direction, which is the tangential direction. Okay, so that's why I've got my u hat t. Okay, the hat here is representing that this is the unit vector, or the basis vector in the tangential direction. Okay, any questions here? Okay, so just to hone in on this point, we've just said का मैग्नीट्यूड तो हमें स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड पता चल गया बाय इट्स द रेट ऑफ चेंज इन पोजीशन, सो इट्स ds by dt. I think I'm not allowed to make horizontal lines. Okay, so ds by dt, ये मैग्नीट्यूड आ गया. Now I'm writing velocity as a vector, so I also need its direction, and by the definition of our coordinate system, I already have a unit vector in the tangential direction, right? So I just pop down here. Oh, E mein chala, sorry. Sometimes, sorry. I've used U as the basis vector in the tangential direction. So ये मेरा velocity vector हो गया. All clear? No question? Perfect. Now, sometimes we actually do want to manipulate this ds by dt a little bit. And how do we do that? Is कि आपको ये देखें, ये हमारा ये ds है ना, वो जो the arc length sort of that's been moved. I can also consider this in terms of my center of curvature and the infinitesimally small change in angle that's happened from the center of curvature. Right? So clearly I can see using this standard geometry, I can see that my ds is what? Anyone? ds क्या होगा? ds is this arc length. Exactly right. Arc length का क्या formula होता है? r theta. And in this case, r is rho. And my small change in angle is d theta. Right? So इससे I can see what my ds is. So I can substitute that in there also to get my velocity actually as a function of the rate of change of angle from the center of curvature. This will come in useful a little bit later on, but that's not our main, so to speak, our result. Our main one is actually our same old, that velocity is the change in position per unit time in the tangential direction. Okay? You just I want to introduce the rho d theta part because I will use that later on. Perfect. Okay, so all clear right now, I hope. So once you've got our velocity sorted, let's jump to acceleration. Wait, hello. Sorry, are you awake? Okay, sorry, I can't see you, so after Baki, you can go to sleep for as long as you want. It's okay if you want to rest, you're more than welcome to, no problem. Okay, so acceleration, let's move to the acceleration. Now let's have a think about that. So acceleration, we all know, is the rate of change of velocity. Exactly. So it's just this expression right here, dv by dt, right? So dv by dt अगर मुझे निकालना है, I can substitute in what I already know about my v vector, which I know is it's a magnitude, it's the speed basically in the tangential direction. तो ये तो एक product की differentiation आ गई है, right? So then what do I use when I've got a product's differentiation? Product rule, exactly right. So product rule को use करके I've got my v u prime plus u prime v and so on. So clearly, see, this is v and then du t by dt plus the basis vector as it is dv by dt. ये हमने लास्ट टाइम भी ऐसे ही सब कुछ किया था जब हम रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन को सिर्फ करते। But now the issue comes with my derivative of the basis vector. In the rectilinear coordinates, the basis vectors were fixed, which is why the differentiation of the basis vector was 0. Whereas up, is that the case? No, exactly. So the basis vector is changing. So there is actually a change in ut with respect to time. It's not a constant. So इस चीज को we need to figure out कि ये क्या होगा dut by dt. Now let's see if it's something that we can do or not. Right. So now consider that at a particular instance, this is the path. So I know कि ut or un की क्या direction है. That is t or n coordinates कहाँ है, right? Then if the particle moves a little bit along in an infinitesimal time duration, then my basis vector will be pointing in a new direction. उसका magnitude तो ठीक है वही रावानी है, लेकिन उसकी direction change होगी. So I can perhaps find कि वो dut क्या होगा. I can use a head to tail rule. So then I have my वो ut originally आ गया. Ut prime, this new one, comes right here. And then the change from ut to ut prime is of course this one. Right? To get to my new basis vector, I have just added a change in ut to the original basis vector. ठीक है? अभी इसको find करते हैं कि ये dut है क्या. Now notice कि with a small change. Sorry, is anyone saying something? Oh. Thank you for whoever started the recording. I completely forgot today. अली रजा, आप कहाँ बैठे हैं? आप हॉस्टल में हैं? तो ये हॉस्टल आप लोगों के क्या? Please try to hotspot if you can. Okay, sorry. Moving on. Okay, yes. Where was I? So we're trying to find dut. Now the thing to notice for that is that the time duration के अंदर when it moved from here to here, there's actually this small change in angle from the center of curvature, d theta. Yahi d theta is actually the change in angle right here. That is this change in angle d theta. So here I know कि ये ut का magnitude तो 1 है ना. So this dut, again it's the arc length for a radius which is equal to 1 and a change in angle which is d theta. So dut का magnitude भी I can find, that is just 1 times d theta. Are you guys following?
मैम ये 1 मैग्नीट्यूड कहाँ से आया?
1 मैग्नीट्यूड ऐसा है कि आप इस पार्ट को जरा गौर से देखें. इसको और इसको दोनों केसेस में this is the radius so to speak, and then the change in angle d theta. और ये जो radius है, that's the magnitude of my basis vector. और basis vector तो unit vectors हैं, right? ut is a unit vector, तो उसका magnitude is equals to 1. So that's why this thing is 1. और 1 और change in angle d theta है, so मेरे arc length आ गई 1 times d theta. Right? Magnitude आ गया. Yes, please. Remember कि जब हम infinitesimal limits में जाएंगे तो वो arcs are straight lines. ये d theta is an infinitesimally small angle. This is why in the small angle limit आपका tangent theta जो होता है that's approximately equal to theta. इसी वजह से कि वो जो arcs होती हैं वो straight lines होते हैं. आ गया इस डी यू टी का, लेकिन डी यू टी एक वेक्टर है, राइट? ये दिस इज अ वेक्टर, दिस डी यू टी राइट हियर। डू यू सी माई पॉइंटर? ये बहुत ही छोटा होता है ये वाला, नजर आ रहा है? बस ठीक है, ओके। सो दिस डी यू टी इज ए वेक्टर, so I now know कि उसका magnitude is this. Now all that I'm left with is to find its direction. Anybody would like to take a guess कि उसकी क्या direction? Exactly right. It is normal to the tangent vector, or normal to the tangent in that direction क्या है? It's un, which is why dut, the vector, is its magnitude in the un direction. Perfect. So ये आप इसको look at this carefully. We basically, if I now divide all of this by dt, I found my rate of change of the basis vector. Normal क्यों है? Consider this. Consider this triangle that we have right here. Right? उसके अंदर this is the radius, और फिर the small change जो u से ut में जा रहा था, it's just a very small change d theta, right? So this is roughly making a right-handed triangle, no? So that's why this thing, this change जो है, the one that we have to go up to get to ut prime, that's actually normal to the original one, right? That's why that's why the direction of that change in ut is in the direction of the normal vector. Perfect. So we've basically figured out how do we differentiate these basis vectors in the NT-coordinate system, essentially. So I can see now my rate of change of ut is in terms of the rate of change of the angle from the center of curvature. So we'll use this result shortly. Just give me 1 second more. Okay. Abhi phir I'm going to manipulate it a little further, which is actually my manipulation I'll bring about in just a minute. Okay, so we have now got our change in the unit vector is actually just equal to 1 times d theta, या फिर I can just write it as d theta in the normal direction, un direction. So let me substitute that into my product rule. ठीक, product rule के अंदर उसको डाल दें. So I get v y का y, dut की जगह I can pop this in. So I get d theta in the normal direction. All clear? Is everybody following? Now let's see if we can manipulate this further. You all recall कि हमने इसकी भी तो expression लिखी हुई थी कि हमारा जो ds है वो in terms of the center of curvature है क्या? Rho d theta. So that is I can get my d theta in terms of ds. That will be useful as we will see shortly. So let me substitute that in there. D theta की expression को डाल लेने. Pop that in, I get v, और ये d theta की जगह I've just got my ds divided by rho. बाकी जो right hand वाली term है, that's right term जो है, that's just staying the same. It's just following through. Now, isn't this something which is ridiculously familiar? ds by dt. That's exactly right. That's the velocity. So I can substitute my expression for my velocity in there to just get that the acceleration ka normal wala component is just equal to v squared divided by rho plus the dv by dt stays the same as it is, the rate of change in the magnitude of the velocity. Perfect. So हमें acceleration के दोनों components मिल गए हैं, one in the normal direction and one in the tangential direction. Please note कि here this v is it's the scalar v, मतलब it's just the magnitude of the velocity. Okay? Right. Agar if we were, let's say, to find the magnitude of the acceleration, then हमारे पास एक vector की form में है. We just use the standard वेक्टर फॉर्म ऑफ, अगर मैं इसको एन और ए टी से रिप्रेजेंट करूं, देन ए मैग्नीट्यूड वुड बी गिवन बाय a n squared plus a tangential squared whole square root, which you all know how to do. Perfect. Yes, very good. So अगर no matter कि हमारी problem क्या है and we're using our xy coordinates या फिर we're using our nt coordinates, the magnitude of the velocity and of the acceleration would stay the same. Right? So that's a good way to check अगर हम लोग चीज़ें ठीक कर रहे हैं या नहीं. Perfectly right. Okay.
मैम
Yes.
मैम ये जो पीछे आपने इक्वेशन लिखी हुई थी, ये जो सेंट्रीपिटल एक्सेलरेशन है और टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन है, ये हर कर्व के लिए या सर्कुलर जहाँ पे सर्कल होगा वहाँ उसके लिए है सिर्फ ये?
This is for any curvilinear path. मतलब ये कि जिस तरह हमने पहले देखी थी, या ये this is a good example, good enough example. बेशक वो ऐसी सी कर्व क्यों ना हो, this is not a circular path. What happens is कि at each point आपका center of curvature change हो जाता है, nothing wrong with that, but at each point हमारे वही basis vectors भी change हो रहे हैं इसी वजह से, ठीक? So this is true at all for any curvilinear path, not just for circular paths.
Okay.
To explain that a little bit more, please notice कि why this is true is because ये जो UN और UT होता है, ये throughout change होता जा रहा है. अगर आपके पास एक circular path होती है, उसमें भी यही हो रहा है ना, हमारा ये UN और UT change करते जा रहे हैं. उसी तरह if you have something like this, आपका इस डायरेक्शन में टेंजेंट UT कुछ होगा इस वक्त, फिर UN कुछ और होगा. At that particular instant, इधर जब वो है, तब उसकी एक्सेलरेशन इज गिवन इन टर्म्स ऑफ दिस UN एंड दिस UT. फिर जब वो आगे चला गया, इधर पहुंच गया, लेट्स से, तो तब उस UT और UN की defined in terms of that UT and UN, that this would be our acceleration. ठीक है? The point being कि we can use this because this UN and UT are constantly changing with the path. इसलिए वो इस तरह की औनी पौनी टेढ़ी मेढ़ी पाथ्स के लिए भी it holds true. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay, so let's actually try to understand what this normal and tangential components of the acceleration mean. What are they physically? And let's have a think about that. So iske liye what I want you to do first is to think about a particle which is moving along a straight line. If something is moving along a straight line, then what can you say about, let's say, its radius of curvature? Does anyone know? It's actually infinity.
Infinity होता है.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. The radius of curvature, because it's as if it's a parallel, uska center lies at infinity. That's why it's a straight line. Okay? So if
वो
rho
सर्कल
goes,
बहुत बड़ा है इसलिए. Yes, ma'am.
exactly, the other way to think about it. Circle is so big कि वो almost straight line बन गया है, उसका जो. So that's why our rho is going to infinity. अगर rho infinity पे जा रहा है, so what's happening to my acceleration? उसका normal component को क्या होगा? Exactly right. If rho goes to infinity, then this term of mine goes to 0. That means that I only have tangential acceleration. I only have this acceleration. Right? मतलब ये कि ये जो टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन, इससे हम एक्सट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं एक्चुअली कि अगर हमारे पास कर्विलिनियर मोशन भी होता, तो इट्स दिस टेंजेंशियल कंपोनेंट which gives me the rate of change of the magnitude of the velocity. It gives me this dv by dt. So even for a curvilinear path, it's my tangential component which is giving me the change in the magnitude of the velocity. Okay? क्योंकि only मतलब अभी थोड़ा सा क्या कहते हैं उसको स्ट्रेट लाइन वाले से कंसिडर करके हमें पता चल रहा है क्योंकि इसकी कोई डायरेक्शन में चेंज नहीं था ना और पूरा का पूरा ऑल द एक्सेलरेशन वाज जस्ट माय टेंजेंशियल वन और उसी से आई न्यू के इट्स जस्ट गोइंग टू कैरी ऑन इन दिस पाथ विद जस्ट चेंजेस इन इट्स मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ वेलोसिटी राइट so this tangential component at represents the rate of change in the magnitude of the velocity which is in other words is the rate of change of the speed. Perfect. Now consider something which is moving along a curve with constant speed. That is that the velocity ka magnitude is constant. If v is constant,
second term zero हो जाएगी.
Completely right. It's this one that goes to zero and I only have a normal component of acceleration. इससे मुझे क्या समझ आया कि वो जो normal component है of acceleration, that's the one that controls the change in the direction of velocity. Okay. So just this part, right? So these two different components, the normal and tangential components, have completely different roles to play. The tangential component is dictating the rate of change of the magnitude and the normal component is dictating the rate of change of direction. Perfect. Okay. अच्छा, just noting कि ये जो normal component होता है because it's always directed towards the center of curvature और basically उसी की वजह से क्योंकि ये इस direction में है ना इसलिए तो ये यूं turn कर रहा है उसकी direction center की तरफ change कर रहा होता है वो. That's why that's also known as the centripetal acceleration. In other words, centripetal का मतलब होता है center को ढूंढता हुआ, center seeking. So that's where that name comes from. Perfect. Because it's trying to change the direction towards the center. Okay. So now that we know that, just the graphical representation of what we just discussed, that the normal component leads to a change in the direction and the tangential component leads to a change in the magnitude of the velocity. Okay. So उसी तरह when we know कि हमारी क्या direction है acceleration की, we can see कि वो किस direction में turn करेगा, right? Exactly because of this. So for example, इस case में अगर an is upwards, so that's why it's causing it to turn inwards. They turn upwards, sorry. इधर भी it's still upwards, that's why it's causing it. और जितना ज़्यादा बड़ा होगा, for example, here the arrow is larger, which is why it's causing a larger sort of curvature. Whereas here, it has a very small direction of, it's still upwards, but the direction is small. So इसलिए this is a little bit closer to a straight line. I hope this is all making sense, right? So just be mindful that we already know which direction the path will be going in because of the accelerations as well. Perfect. Okay, just a few extra other points to note before my main theoretical part will be done and then we can move on to something more engaging at least. So we've noticed that the tangential acceleration represents the rate of change in speed, right? Or the rate of change in the magnitude of velocity. Now please consider that this is extremely similar, this expression at is equals to dv by dt is extremely similar to the expression that we used to have for rectilinear motion. उसमें भी तो acceleration was equals to dv by dt in rectilinear motion, है कि नहीं? So what I'm trying to get at is that only for the tangential direction, the same kinematic equations of rectilinear motion still apply. That is that at is equals to dv by dt or v ka is equals to ds by dt, and of course then if we have both these two, then वही third kinematic equation भी आ जाती है. जिसका मतलब ये हुआ कि इस केस में वही हमारी पुरानी familiar terms of constant velocity or constant acceleration की जो expressions थी, they also hold true, क्योंकि वो सारी आ रही थी इनको manipulate करके, right? So let's consider the case कि अगर हमारी tangential acceleration constant हो, that is I have this at is some constant acceleration. So if using that information I manipulate these expressions, I will see that I will get back to my familiar constant acceleration terms, basically. See? So this is something interesting to note here. Whereas for the normal acceleration, that's not the case. For normal acceleration, I know that this is now something actually unfamiliar. Familiar to you guys, of course, but I meant in the course. This is not nowhere near anything what we had in rectilinear motion. And this one is just controlling the change in the direction. Okay, perfect. So, एक और one more interesting aspect to note from this is कि अगर हमें, और ये थोड़ी सी tricky बात है, लेकिन let's see how far we get with this, which is कि if we already know what of the particle is, and let's say it's a function of x, so it's some path like this, and I know that this is my xy coordinate system, and I know that this is some function of x, then actually at every point I can find कि मेरा radius of curvature क्या है, using an expression, or I'm just going to show you that expression. It's a little bit difficult, but we'll get somewhere with it. Let's see. It's given by a function of the first derivative and the second derivative of the curve, basically. Okay. Now I know that this is looking a little bit complicated, which is why obviously this will be provided to you. You don't need to memorize it. The derivation of this is actually, it's a little complicated, but it's not something beyond us. Okay, it's just standard calculus essentially. So we'll try to do it very quickly. एक चीज मुझे यहाँ पे ठीक करने दे before I forget, which is that I have this spare dy line. So let me just fix that. Sorry, spare open bracket line there. I want to fix that. Thank you. Okay, so yes, the point was the derivation of this. If I have my y is equals to fx, where is this radius of curvature expression coming from? The entire derivation is in the slides, and I want to emphasize again that this is part of calculus and not really part of this course. So I popped that in there for you to take a look at in detail. Lekin very quickly, I do want to go over just some tiny bits of it, which may help you out. Okay? The first thing that we know, of course, is that our radius of curvature is somewhere here, the concave side. So it's going to be rho like this. Oof. This is my d theta, right? Then the next thing I want to notice, so इससे तो मेरा ये आ गया ना, ये expression which I used earlier, which I used earlier. Then what I want you to notice is that if I'm measuring my thetas relative to my x-axis, then this theta actually gives me, for just small ds's, it gives me, ये अगर ds है मेरा, it gives me my dx or dy relative something. I can see that my tangent theta is equals to dy by dx, right? So I have that one piece of information, right? What did I want to do next? See, I'm already forgetting. Okay. And then another thing, sorry, just coming to it, slowly I'm getting there. Another thing, please notice that this ds is the hypotenuse of this infinitesimal triangle. So using, what was it? किसका नाम था वो? Pythagoras' theorem. ds squared is equals to dx squared plus dy squared, right? Can I differentiate this to find dy by dx, perhaps? So differentiating it, I would get d with respect to x, of course. So 2ds by dx. No. Actually, you already got that. If this is a, oh, see, if I said this is a little complicated, I'm a bit rusty with this. So this is some sort of a function, right? So pehle to the function itself will pop up as it is, and then its derivative will pop up. ऐसा ही है. And here, similarly, first the function will pop up 2dx, and then dx by dx, which is 1. Okay? So that's just that. Plus 2 dy function, and then the derivative dy by dx. Now let me divide everything by dx as well. Mazid. Is dx को eliminate करने के लिए. Then what am I getting? I'm getting 2 times ds by dx squared is equals to 2 plus 2 dy by dx squared. I think that's what I'm getting, right? ये सब आ गया. Okay. Oh, I think I'm beginning to lose my head के ये होना क्या है. But please, as I said, the solution is in the slide. Do take a look at it. There's just a few tricky bits here and there, which if you read through it, we will figure it out. Okay? So spend some time yourself to take a look at it. Right, not part of this course. It's just okay, what result aa kahan se raha hai. It's not coming out of completely out of thin air. So just for your information right there. Okay, so just to wrap up what we just discussed, we are essentially almost done. We'll just be moving to some problems. I'm not letting you go yet, of course. Okay, so we've discussed that if something is moving in a curvilinear path, then uski position is being defined relative to some fixed point, such that its displacement is just the change in distance moved along the path, essentially. So it's just ds, right? So from that we can find what the velocity of the particle would be. It is the rate of change in its position, and then in its vector form, we know that the velocity is always tangential to the path. That's why it will be in the direction of the tangential component, dt. Perfect. Further, when we want to find the acceleration, we just need to differentiate that expression. And we saw that now, because the basis vectors are changing their directions, we actually do need to take into account the differentiation of the basis vector. Okay? So usko karte karte, which I've already discussed, we get our expression for acceleration, where we have our tangential component, which is just equal to the rate of change of velocity's magnitude. That is, it's the rate of change of the speed, and its normal component, which gives us the rate of change of direction of the particle. Right. So all pretty straightforward things once we know what's happening. Perfect. So that's basically it for curvilinear motion. Now I had a small little interesting activity planned. Uske baad mein I'll give you a break as well. So I want you to wake up a little bit. और please अगर आप लोगों के पास phones हैं, so I want to take a quiz online. Because let's try this new interesting activity. I hope it's interesting, but let's see. Do you guys have phones here? सबके पास ही होगा ना वैसे कुछ या स्मार्टफोन चाहिए लेकिन जिसके अंदर कोई क्रोम खुल सके या सॉरी सफारी जो भी चीज़ होती है कोई एक्सप्लोरर खुल सके. You guys have one? जिसके पास नहीं है वो एक और बंदे के साथ अटैच होते हैं. And then what I want you to do, everybody at home, you have to do this. You have to do this too. Okay, this is why it's an online quiz that we're doing. और आप लोगों ने क्या करना भी मुझे 2 सेकंड दें फिर you'll see. I should stop sharing my screen for this part. And then I want you guys to open figuring it out. Where do I go? Okay. Ah, here it is. Particle kinematics. Okay. Right. So what do you guys need to do is okay, everybody at home as well. Please, you have to go to this website, kahoot.it, and then enter this game pin 3944389. मैं इसकी आवाज म्यूट कर दूं? Suleiman is here. Perfect. Please use your names because that's how we're going to know who's going to win today. As you can imagine, this is completely ungraded. So इसलिए tension नहीं खाए. Just try to enjoy yourself. Saad and Zain. So people are coming in. Very slowly सब लोग आ रहे हैं. There should be about और एक कोई somebody has left already. Like nope, I'm not playing. Okay, जो सब लोग class में बैठे हैं, are you all here? Not yet. Let me just tell you what the trick. A, you have to get the correct answer, obvious. But B, you have to get whoever gets the highest. Okay. So let me know if anybody's still left. Small screen नजर नहीं आ रही.
हम आ गई अब.
The questions will pop up on the screen right here. Your answer आप लोगों ने अपने उस पे देना. So I think it might take a day to figure out. Yeah. And can I please not keep reading the questions after okay, मुझे भी थोड़ा सा break. Okay, 27 is enough. I think. So let's start. Yes, this is actually pretty important. Right, answers are coming in. I had to put this question is because I got asked by your class somehow. What? See, who are these 10 people? How is there any confusion about this? क्या हो गया? Assignments are graded, quizzes are not. Okay? So assignments are graded. Please, the 16 of you have got it correct. Suleiman, you're on top of the charts right now. Okay. Okay, अब थोड़े serious questions. Ooh. So yes, horizontal component is constant because there is no acceleration in the horizontal direction. Just a few people, ये आप लोगों को खुद पता है who is it, So just आप लोग it's for your own self-assessment essentially. Right. Next question. सुलेमान कहाँ गए आप? Nice. It is both reach at the same time. Okay. उनका vertical components जो हैं, they're all exactly going to be the same because that's the same acceleration. Be careful, please. Ahmed, well done. Suleiman's back. True or false? कुछ slow internet वाले लोग end में trail कर. What? No, आज सो रहे थे आधे लोग. Velocity is always tangential to the path. इसीलिए तो हमने उसकी the direction was given by the unit vector in that direction. लेकिन लगता है सब आसान है, लेकिन जब फिर ये होता है फिर बंदा सोचता है कि क्या हो रहा है क्लास में. Right. Abhi will keep a check कि क्या who's on the. Okay, so this is a multi-select question. Okay. There are more than one correct answer. Okay, so there were two correct answers in this, which was that the NT basis vectors have changing directions, and because of their changing directions, they have a non-zero derivative, right? Their magnitude stays constant at 1, no change in magnitude, or zero derivative to hai nahi, because there is change happening, okay? So please, again, I said self-assessment for your own self. Okay. Second last question. Oh, lecture के आखिरी 5 मिनट में जो लोग जागे हुए थे, हाँ. So the normal component of the acceleration, it represents the rate of change of the direction of velocity. Okay, it's not the change in the position, direction of the position, it's the rate of change of the velocity's direction. So acceleration है ना, उसका तो ताल्लुक ही velocity से है, not directly to the position. Okay. और 6 number पे जो थे people, these 6 people, rate of change of magnitude, please be careful, that's the tangential component of acceleration. Right, this is the last question. So a wide variety of answers. The 15 blues, the majority have it right. It's the position is defined from a fixed reference point on the path. Origin to change ho raha hai, so it's on the particle, so it's not defined relative to that. The particle pe hi origin hai, by the way, these two coincides. And the center of curvature is something different. It doesn't have anything to do with the position along the path. Okay. So yes, so that was it. Those were the 7 questions today. Let's see who is on the podium position. So number 3 is HK. Who's HK? Well done, HK. So someone in class. And then Hamza. Suleiman, the one with the well done. And then Saif and Ahad, you were not too far behind. Suleiman, let's see अगर आप next time अपनी winning streak continue कर सकेंगे या नहीं. Hamza was very close behind. और आप दोनों के बाद everybody else was 5-9. So there's like a difference of 1,000 points. So Hamza and Suleiman, well done to both of you. Okay, so excellent. Now I think we can have a few minutes break. या फिर do you want to carry on and end early? One vote for end early. Anybody else?
यस मैम जल्दी खत्म कर दें.
चले फिर आगे. Let's carry on with our थोड़ी सी आपकी ब्रेक हो गई ना. अली आपने मिस कर दिया पॉइंट. हाँ अच्छा सॉरी मैं इसीलिए बोला था you have to open it in your mobile device क्योंकि questions मेरी स्क्रीन पे आ रहे हैं. So इधर थे questions. Sorry अली, I should have clarified that. और अब्दुल्ला आपका नेट स्लो है. आई नो, इसीलिए कुछ चीज़ों पे हमने 30 सेकंड्स दिए हुए थे जब बाकी सब सो रहे थे कि वो कब का जवाब दे दिया, आगे भी चले. सो इट्स फॉर द पीपल विद द स्लो नेट. Right. Okay. So let's move back into doing a few problems to sort of reinforce what we've just learned about NT coordinates. Right. So just quickly इसका हम summary भी कर लें establish. So yes, so coordinate system के लिए for our NT coordinates, we have our fixed reference point, but the origin we don't need to be defining again and again. The origin lies on the particle. What we do need to be careful about is our N and T coordinates और उनकी directions. ठीक? So as we saw कि the t-axis, that's always defined positive in the direction of motion. मतलब ये कि जिस डायरेक्शन वो मूव कर रहा होगा ना, that is the direction of positive velocity. That's going to be our positive tangential direction, whereas the positive normal direction is going to be the one towards the center of curvature. Okay, your center of curvature कहाँ lie करता है? Curvature की concave के अंदर something. I hope that makes sense. Right. Next, the velocity, the magnitude of the velocity is just given by the rate of change of position. और उसकी direction we know it's always tangent to the path. That's why in vector form this would be v is equals to ds by dt in the tangential direction. Okay, right. और इसी तरह when we then try to find the acceleration by differentiating this with respect to time, then we see कि acceleration के दो components आ जाते हैं, the tangential and normal components, where the tangential acceleration जो है that gives us the rate of change of the magnitude of velocity, and the normal component gives us the rate of change of direction of the velocity. Okay. So perfect. Or yes, just a few other things. For the tangential component, because the tangential component is equals to dv, the rate of change in the magnitude dv by dt. ये पुरानी वाली हमारी expression है. इसलिए इस केस में हमारी वही 3 kinematic equations apply करती हैं, because v is equals to ds by dt and my a ds is equals to v dv. This is applicable for my tangential components. और अगर मेरा at happens to be constant, then I get my familiar case of the constant acceleration expressions. Yes, जिस तरह हमने curvilinear के अंदर किया था, which is कि आप अपने x component और y component को completely separately treat कर सकते थे. Similarly here, that's also the case. Although just one tiny difference, कि इस case में we can see कि at is dv by dt and an is v squared divided by rho. मतलब ये कि both of them are a function of the velocity, so they're related somehow. Okay. Oh yes, and then this fancy little expression for the radius of curvature, given that if you know the path, okay, what is the function, what does the profile look like? Or iski derivation I said, for your own interest, please do take a look at it. Right, now let's jump into some examples. So as always, I'll do the first example, which is easy, and then the next one is going to be more difficult, you guys are going to do. Okay, so let's start from this one. So we have a motorboat which is starting from rest and it travels around a circular path with a radius of curvature of 50 meters at a speed that is increasing with time. Okay, speed that is increasing with time. Right, so let me pop some of the information down. We know that the velocity is of course equals to ds by dt. एक तो ये बात हमें पता है, मैं सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड लिखती हूँ, मैं सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड लिख दिया इधर. Yeah, चले, let me pop the whole thing. ut. Then I also know, I think ये मैं कहीं ना कहीं आ रहा होगा. हाँ, ये देखा मैं ऐसे ही लिख रही हूँ. This will be provided to you, right? Again, I do think that they're easy enough that we should have them at our fingertips anyway. So right. Now what we want to find is the magnitude of the boat's velocity and its acceleration at the instant when t is equals to 3 seconds, right? So v is clearly just equals to this ds by dt. उसका magnitude ही ये है. एक और तरीका of writing v is v ut, right? Where this v is given to us. Its magnitude is changing like so. तो अगर मुझे निकालना है at t is equals to 3 seconds the velocity, then I just need to substitute that in there, 0.2 into 3 squared. This is too easy. What does that turn out to be then? 9 times 0.2. मेरा calculator, type in my calculator. 1.8 meters per second. So ये तो आ गई हमारी velocity. Now let's come to the acceleration, which is a little bit more interesting in this case. So if I want to find my acceleration, sorry, what's your name? As Saniha had already pointed out, we just need to treat the components separately. So that's what we'll do. Ab hame, at t is equals to 3, let's find what an is. This is an, right? The normal component, which will be v squared divided by rho. So v squared I know is 1.8. मैंने निकाल लिया था already at 3. Rho is 50. Circular path है 50 पे ही रहेगा मतलब वो. So I get my an. Turns out to be 0.0648 meters per second. And then what about at? At is equals to dv by dt. ये रहा. So that is of course 0.2 t squared ka dv by dt. So 0.4 t, or t is equals to 3. So 0.4 times 3, which is equals to 1.2 meter per second squared. Right. So agar magnitude I want to find, then very straightforward. A n squared plus a t squared square root. So I get 0.0648 squared plus 1.2 squared. This was sorry, मैंने बहुत ही ज़्यादा आसान question अपने लिए कर लिया था, but I'm sneaky like that, aren't I? So square plus 1.2 squared. Ta-da! This was ये. So हमारा magnitude of the acceleration भी आ गया. Nice. So I don't think anything complicated, although let me just check my answers क्योंकि कुछ ना कुछ कहीं ना कहीं गड़बड़ जाती है. 1.2 meter. That's what we had. Perfect. So we warm up with an easy question, and now we move on to a more complicated question for you guys. Actually, sorry. Were some people still doing the previous one? I went too quickly, maybe. Can I move on? Okay, thank you. Okay, so now what do we have? We have a jet plane which is traveling along a vertical parabolic path defined by the equation y is equals to 0.4x squared. At point A, the jet has a speed of 200 meters per second, which is increasing at the rate of 0.8 meter per second squared. Now, what do we want to do? We want to find the magnitude of the plane's acceleration when it is at point A. Okay, I'm going to let you guys tackle this easily. So, what would be very helpful to us? First of all, sorry, thoda sa I'm going to help out, right? First, we define the coordinates. So clearly, it's going in that direction. The motion is in that direction. So this will be my u tangential direction. And then the center of curvature appears to be towards here somewhere. This is the concave side, right? So un is somewhere like so. ये तो define हो गया. Up next, I think what's a good idea is to start writing down all the data that's available to us. For example, I know at point A what is its speed. That is, I know what v is. And then I also know that the speed is increasing at this rate. Speed is increasing at this rate, which means it's the rate of change of speed. It's dv by dt. So, I have my v, acceleration निकाल लिया ना, and I have my dv by dt. What is the issue? Rho नहीं है, exactly right. So I need to find my rho. और rho को निकालने के लिए we have this expression right here, for which it's clear that we need y as a function of x, and luckily for us, वो हमारे पास है. So let's find rho.
मैम
Yes.
मैम ये जो रो है इसको हमने मीटर्स में निकालना है या किलोमीटर में भी कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि जो जो वन ऐड हो रहा है ये अगर किलोमीटर में करेंगे तो कोई और आंसर नहीं आएगा.
सही कह रहे हैं आप. आई थिंक कि आपको मीटर्स में करना चाहिए इस वजह से कि क्योंकि बाकी बाद में सब चले, पहले आप उसको किलोमीटर में निकाल लें, उसमें कोई मसला नहीं होगा, लेकिन फिर उसको इधर सब्स्टिट्यूट एक्सेलरेशन में सब्स्टिट्यूट करते हुए मीटर में करना पड़ेगा. तो जस्ट फॉर द रो पार्ट इसके लिए हम किलोमीटर में रह सकते हैं आई थिंक.
मैम देखिए ना, लास्ट पे फंक्शन मेरे पास जो बच रहा है वो है 1 + 0.8 x स्क्वायर. अब अगर मैं x के अंदर किलोमीटर वाली वैल्यू पुट करूं तो उसके अंदर अगर 1 ऐड होगा तो वो किलोमीटर के हिसाब से होगा ऐड, लेकिन अगर मैं x की जगह पे 5000 मीटर्स पुट करूं तो उससे 1 से तो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा.
you're right, you're right. You're completely right. इसका मतलब ये कि इस क्वेश्चन में एक्चुअली थोड़ी सी मिसिंग है बात, which is कि हमें ये y का ना पता होना जरूरी है कि ये किलोमीटर है या मीटर में है. You get? I think ये किलोमीटर में है. So this is y as a function of x in kilometers. I think you have to keep this in kilometers. Because you know why I say कि वो kilometers में है? Because look at the curve. It seems कि वो जो scale है ना, उधर y और x किलोमीटर में ही define हो रहे हैं. इसलिए I think कि आपको ये रो की एक्सप्रेशन में हर चीज को किलोमीटर में ही रखना होगा. Once you get your रो, फिर उसको मीटर में कन्वर्ट कर, काम आसान हो जाएगा. है? Okay, so what do you get for rho?
$87 kilometer.
यस मैम 87 किलोमीटर है यार.
I made a mistake. Oh, sorry guys, can someone help me out? I'm making a mistake.
यस
somewhere.
मैम रो की वैल्यू 87.6 है.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
मैम
हाँ जी,
ये एक बात आप रिपीट कर सकती है काइंडली
क्या चीज़ है?
कि हमने इक्वेशन में जो रो की इक्वेशन है हमने उसमें किलो मीटर्स में कन्वर्ट करके क्यों नहीं पुट किया?
बिल्कुल ठीक. सो बेसिकली ना मेरे ख्याल में क्वेश्चन में थोड़ी सी कमी थी. इसको ना क्लियरली लिखा होना चाहिए था कि y इज इक्वल टू 0.4 एक्स स्क्वायर और समहाउ इधर या फिर या कहीं पे कि किलोमीटर्स इनकी यूनिट्स हैं. और मैंने ये किस तरह सोचा कि ओके ये किलोमीटर्स में ही y भी किलोमीटर भी है x भी किलोमीटर में, इसलिए बिकॉज आई लुक्ड एट द कर्व और when I looked at the curve I could see कि actually y is equals to 0.4 अगर यूं जा रहा है x squared, तो this expression it seems to me, क्योंकि देखें ना, let me be more clear. Basically ये जो 0.4 का कांस्टेंट है this actually has a unit, doesn't it? क्योंकि अगर आप x को स्क्वायर करेंगे you will get some length squared, right? So length squared डिवाइडेड बाय एल होना पड़ेगा, डिवाइडेड बाय सम लेंथ होना पड़ेगा ताकि वाई आए आपके पास इन यूनिट्स ऑफ लेंथ. डिमेंशंस की बात है, इसकी डिमेंशन आप लोगों ने डिमेंशन की भी ना, एल टी एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. तो एल इज लेंथ, इफ आई एम रिप्रेजेंटिंग एल लेंथ बाय एल, तो इसकी यूनिट है एल, इसकी यूनिट है एल स्क्वायर्ड. So for it to be dimensionally consistent, this 0.4 must have a L minus 1 या 1 over L. ठीक है. So अब that's what I was trying to establish कि ये जो 0.4 है ये किलोमीटर्स में है या मीटर में है. और मुझे इसकी इक्वेशन को देख के लग रहा था कि अच्छा ये 5 है यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे 10 है और इसकी कर्व की स्लोप थोड़ी छोटी छोटी सी है, तो ये जो 0.4 है ना ये भी किलोमीटर -1 में है. अदरवाइज उसको अगर मीटर्स में होना होता तो दिस वुड हैव हैड टू बी मच लार्जर, इट वुड हैव हैड टू बी समथिंग लाइक दिस फॉर दिस कर्व टू मेक सेंस. आई डोंट नो इफ आई एम मेकिंग टू मच सेंस जो मैं जो कुछ बोलती जा रही हूँ.
होमोजेनिटी इक्वेशन की देखी आपने?
होमोजेनिटी देखी है मैंने, इक्वेशन की डिमेंशनल कंसिस्टेंसी देखी है, यस. और फिर उस कर्व की शेप से अंदाज़ा लगाया है कि अच्छा ये 5 है यहाँ पे 10 है, तो ये
इतना ज़्यादा
0.4
एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है हमारा.
0.4 इज़ अ स्मॉल वैल्यू, राइट. मतलब ये कि ये 5 और 10 से मैच कर रहा है और इसीलिए उसकी इस तरह की शेप बन रही है. So my point being कि all of this equation has units of kilometers essentially. That's what I'm trying to get at. If अगर ये given होता ना y is equals to 400x square, फिर मुझे देख के ये थोड़ा अजीब लगता कि अच्छा यहाँ पे 5 दिया हुआ है, यहाँ पे 10 है, लेकिन ये कोएफिशिएंट साहब 400 में है. And then that does not, फिर मुझे होता कि okay, no, I need to convert things into meter because this is too large a value for this curve to be making sense. थोड़ा सा maybe experience के लिए I guess. Okay. So once we have rho, here it's just straightforward substitution, isn't it? So I don't think, could somebody tell me what the final magnitude is coming out to be? So substitute करके उसके बाद we are getting an A of 0.921 kilometers per meter per second square, right? Is that what everybody is getting? Perfect. So that's what everybody is getting. Excellent. That is the right answer right here. Very good. Okay, up we are moving to significantly more and more complicated problems. This one is a little complicated. I'll try to do it, but I really need your help. So I might be messing up somewhere here and there.
मैम एक दफा पिछली स्लाइड जरा दिखा दें.
Sorry, पिछले वाले कहाँ जी? Sure, please. So mainly what we've done is that it was the radius of curvature which was missing. So radius of curvature की expression के अंदर हमने अपनी सारी relevant information substitute करके we find that it's just equal to 87.2. उसके अलावा जो कुछ हमारे पास था ना, ये v squared, ये dv by dt, ये चीज़ें हमें known है. V squared was already given के 200 meter per second. V was already given it's 200 meter per second. और dv by dt भी given था कि 0.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर के रेट पे उसका मैग्नीट्यूड चेंज कर रहा है. ओके, सो इसलिए फिर उन चीजों को हमने सिर्फ सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया इसके अंदर. The person who had a question, please.
ओके मैम क्वेश्चन ही था, बस वो देखना था कि वेलोसिटी को उन्होंने मीटर पर सेकंड में लिया और रो को किलोमीटर में फिर सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया.
नहीं, कंसिस्टेंट यूनिट्स लेनी जरूरी है, तो इसलिए
मैम वो देखें आप आगे उसमें उन्होंने 200 ही लिखा है उसको वेलोसिटी को.
ये देखें ना, ये 10 to
अच्छा
the
सही
power.
है ठीक है
लिखा करके बैठे हो यार आप.
तो मैम बाद में भी उन्होंने आंसर मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर में लिखा था, हम पहले रो की उसमें निकाल लेते, रो भी फिर मीटर में निकाल लेते पहले.
हमने डिस्कस तो किया कि रो को निकालने के लिए जो हमारे पास इक्वेशन है ना, y इज इक्वल टू क्या थी 0.4x². ये जो इक्वेशन है ना, ये किलोमीटर्स में है.
ठीक है.
इसकी वजह से जब हम ये dy by dx और d2y by dx² ये चीज़ें निकालेंगे ना, वो सब किलोमीटरों में ही आएगा. और हमें इस रो में सब्स्टिट्यूट करने के लिए 1 आ रहा है ना यहाँ पे, ये सब हमें we have to work in kilometers for that part because this equation is in kilometers.
ठीक है.
ठीक है जी. Right. Okay. So this is a good point and something that we all have to be very careful about. कि वो जो function है वो किस उसमें किस sort of scale पे given है. Okay. अगर ये बात किसी को अभी भी अनक्लियर है तो दोबारा आप पूछ लें, हम फिर से डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. लेकिन दिस इज समथिंग के जो आपको भी इस पे सोचना पड़ेगा, वरना नहीं क्लियर होगा. ऐसी बात भी नहीं है कि बिल्कुल ही यूँ समझ आ रही है, राइट? मसला ये है कि ये जो 1 आ रहा है ना, मतलब हैव अ थिंक अबाउट दिस पार्ट कि ये रो क्यों किलोमीटर्स में हमें करना पड़ रहा है. एवरीबडी विल गो होम एंड हैव अ थिंक अबाउट दिस, राइट? ओके, एंड देन we move to example, this third example. After this we will have a lot to think as well because this is not straightforward. Let's see. So we have a package which is being dropped from a plane which is flying with a constant horizontal velocity of 50 meters per second. So VA is 50 meters per second. Determine the normal and tangential components of acceleration. Okay, normal and tangential. So please note कि even though हमें देख के ही वो पता चल रहा है कि this is a case of projectile motion, ठीक है, क्योंकि उसकी सिर्फ इट ओनली हैज अ vertical acceleration because of gravity, nothing else. So this whatever package is dropping is projectile motion. लेकिन हमें क्वेश्चन ने कह दिया है कि हमें उसकी नॉट एक्स वाई कोऑर्डिनेट्स, हमें उसकी नॉर्मल एंड टेंजेंशियल कंपोनेंट्स निकालनी है, ठीक है, विच इज एज वी जस्ट सीन दे आर कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट टू एक्स वाई कोऑर्डिनेट्स. ओके, so determine the normal and tangential components of acceleration and the radius of curvature of the path of motion at the moment when the package is released, where it has a horizontal velocity, and just before it strikes the ground at B. Okay. And VA हमें given है और H is 500 meters per second, right? Okay. Okay, so let's have a think and let's see where we can start. So we want to find the acceleration. So पहले तो हम point A के ऊपर काम करते हैं ना. So we're operating for point A. Let's have a think. So for point A, what we know is the velocity का magnitude is just equal to 50 meters per second. ऐसे ही है, भी आ गया. और at point A हमारा tangential और normal components U होंगे, right? T is in that direction और N is towards the center of curvature, N ऐसे होगा, right? ये दोनों भी चीज़ें ठीक होगी. Okay, तो अब हम देखते हैं कि हमारी acceleration का तो हमें पहले ही पता है कि ये function है. So we need v squared rho and we need dv by dt. ठीक है, okay? क्या करूँ? I'm thinking.
मैम अगर आप जो है ना ये रेंज निकाल लेती है ना तो हमें फंक्शन बना सकते हैं y विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x, तो उसके थ्रू हमारे पास रो आ जाएगा.
मुझे तो नहीं लग रहा कि मैं ये फंक्शन निकाल सकती हूँ, मुझे बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. अच्छा समझ आ गया. ओह गुड.
इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन मैम वो va हमारे पास गिवन है और हमारे पास हाइट गिवन है, तो हम टाइम निकाल सकते हैं, उससे हमारे पास रेंज आ जाएगी.
थोड़ा थोड़ा आप कुछ कह रहे हैं वो सेंस बन रही है, लेकिन सॉरी आई एम अ लिटिल स्लोअर देन यू गाइस, सो आई विल हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दिस. जरा आप लोग प्लीज ट्राई भी करते जाए साथ में, जब तक मैं फिगर आउट करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ कि करना क्या है हमें.
मैम टाइम तो आराम से कैलकुलेट हो सकता है ना, y इज इक्वल टू हाफ gt स्क्वायर से.
यस, आई सी व्हाट यू मीन. सो यू आर सेइंग कि बिकॉज अगर हम रेक्टिलिनियर कोऑर्डिनेट्स में काम करें पहले, टाइम नहीं है. एक मिनट. Acceleration तो हमें पता है already, right? Acceleration we know is just, oh excellent point, yes, got it, one, yes, so very good, thank you. Saneha has अब मुझे पता नहीं आप यही कह रही थी, लेकिन you jogged my sort of brain के करना क्या है. Okay, right, so we know कि इस point पे at point A we also know कि acceleration का कोई tangential component नहीं है. At is 0, right? To the right it's 0. Whereas I do know कि an क्या है? It's acting downwards. It's just, और ये भी please note कि n भी downwards है और acceleration due to gravity भी downwards है. So an is just equals to 9.81 meter per second squared. Right? और an की expression हमें पता है, it's v squared divided by rho. So I get v squared divided by rho is equals to 9.81. So इससे मेरा rho आ जाएगा, which is 50 squared divided by 9.81, which comes out to be
मैम लेकिन ये तो टेंजेंशियल वेलोसिटी नहीं है.
ये देखें, ये पॉइंट था ना हमारा, टेंजेंशियल उसकी डायरेक्शन ये है, दिस इज द टेंजेंशियल डायरेक्शन एंड दिस इज माय नॉर्मल डायरेक्शन. ऐसा ही है.
यस मैम.
तो मेरी वेलोसिटी का मैग्नीट्यूड टेंजेंशियल डजंट मैटर, वेलोसिटी तो है ही. डू यू
Yes.
रिमेंबर वेलोसिटी तो होती ही हमेशा
यस मैम टेंजेंशियल होती है.
टेंजेंशियल. बिल्कुल. तो इस एक्सप्रेशन के अंदर डेल्टा ही वेलोसिटी का मैग्नीट्यूड है जो होता ही
Yes.
टेंजेंशियल डायरेक्शन में। सो 255 आ रहा है ऑलमोस्ट मेरे पास मीटर्स। नाउ दिस इज क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग क्योंकि हाइट जो ड्रॉप हुई थी वो 500 मीटर्स से थी और जो सेंटर ऑफ कर्वेचर है वो कहीं इधर आ रहा है बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट यू सी के एटलीस्ट मैंने सोचा था यही उसी वक्त कि यहाँ से गिर रहा होगा तो ग्राउंड पे ही होगा कहीं कर्वेचर। that's not what it's turning out to be. Center of curvature is coming out to be completely different from the height at which it will drop. Okay, so have we got everything for point A? We were expected to find the normal and tangential components of acceleration, वो हमने दोनों कर लिया, and the radius of curvature. तो A का तो हो गया। अब आते हैं part B के ऊपर। Yes. So for point B now is the tricky part. Sorry, मैं A पे ही क्या कहते हैं उसको वो थोड़ा when you start to stumble a little bit. I think B though is going to be more complicated. Okay, let's think. आप लोग भी सोचें please. So I'm also thinking. ये B वाले का कैसे?
मैम फॉर पॉइंट बी आपको वेलोसिटी मिल सकती है अगर हम प्रोजेक्टाइल मोशन वाले से करें तो।
बिल्कुल सही है। That's a great idea कि हम पहले रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन कंसिडर करके velocity निकाल लेंगे। That's a good idea. So इसको I'm going to write that down. So considering it as considering in xy coordinates पहले और फिर उसके लिए क्या तरीका होता था remind me कि we have a case of x is equals to x naught plus v naught xt। एक तो ये हो गया। दूसरा I have y is equals to y naught plus v naught yt minus half gt squared। ऐसा ही है।
मैम वो दूसरे वाला लगा लेना वी एफ इज इक्वल टू वी नॉट प्लस जी टी।
Okay,
वी
so
नॉट वाई जो है वो 0 है और जो वी एफ है वो हम निकाल लेंगे उससे।
बिल्कुल मैं यही कर रही
टाइम
थी।
निकालना पड़ेगा, टाइम वाई इज इक्वल टू हाफ जी टी स्क्वायर से
वर्टिकल मोशन
निकलेंगे।
की एक्सप्रेशन मैं यहाँ लिखती जाती हूँ। आप बिल्कुल सही सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं। सो आई नो कि मेरी एक वर्टिकल एक्सप्रेशन वाली एक एक्सप्रेशन है क्या वी स्क्वायर्ड या फिर वी नॉट सॉरी वी वाई स्क्वायर्ड इज इक्वल्स टू वी नॉट वाई स्क्वायर्ड माइनस 2g और h होगा। यस एग्जैक्टली राइट। तो ये प्लस
हम फर्स्ट इक्वेशन लगा लेना वी वी एफ इज इक्वल टू वी आई प्लस जी टी।
आई एम स्टिल कंसर्न कि ये मैं क्या लिख रही हूँ इधर। आप कौन सी बता रहे हैं? सॉरी वो बोलिएगा।
हम फर्स्ट इक्वेशन वी एफ इज इक्वल टू वी आई प्लस जी टी
माइनस जी
एक्सेलरेशन वाली से जो यस
ये
मैम
वाला।
वो माइनस हो जाएगा जी।
तो हमें टाइम
यस
नहीं
मैम
पता ना।
हम टाइम वाई इज इक्वल टू हाफ जी टी स्क्वायर से निकल आएगा ना।
आप कह रहे हैं ये वाली और ये वाली यूज करके।
यस मैम
राइट ओके सो सॉल्व दीज टू टुगेदर टू गेट द time and to get the v velocity in the y direction vy। ये कह रहे हैं? Is that what you're saying?
यस मैम
No, because वो g is in the minus direction। जो original equation है उसमें we have plus 18। Okay? So अगर a is in the negative direction so वो negative हो जाएगा। नोट
मैम
के ये
ऐसे
हमारे
ऊपर
xy
वाली से
कोऑर्डिनेट्स
भी
हैं।
हो जाएगा। जो स्क्वायर वाली है उसमें सिर्फ आपको h पुट करना पड़ेगा y की जगह पे।
क्या कर रहे हैं आप? मुझे कुछ ये कौन सा बंदा बोल रहा है? कंफ्यूज कर रहे हैं आप मुझे। अच्छा एक सेकेंड, 1 2 3 इनमें से आप कह रहे हैं ये फर्स्ट वाली यूज करें। एक सेकंड की जरा आप ना, सॉरी जो बात कर रहे हैं आप बहुत अच्छा आइडिया दे रहे हैं, लेकिन एक सेकंड के लिए मुझे खुद भी सोचने दे जरा क्या कर रहे हैं। आई एम गेटिंग अ लिटिल कंफ्यूज। सो बेसिकली वी डू हैव h, बट हमें टाइम और v नॉट y भी पता है, तो हमारा
मैम
टाइम आ जाएगा इससे एग्जैक्टली। तो जो पहली इक्वेशन है उसी से सारा कुछ नहीं क्लियर हो जाता है।
मैम यहाँ आपको पहली और तीसरी करनी पड़ेगी, या आप सिर्फ दूसरी वाली से काम कर सकते हैं।
खाली दूसरी वाली से भी काम कर सकते हैं, एग्जैक्टली राइट। सो या आप इधर से करके पहले हाइट की वैल्यू सब्सटीट्यूट करें विच इज -500, 0 + 0 -½ 9.81t², और इससे टाइम फाइंड करें। राइट ये हो गया एक तरीका जो कि टाइम आता है 10.1 seconds, and then I substitute it into Vy is equals to V naught y minus GT. ऐसा ही है? So that comes out to be -98.1, -99 है actually. -99 meters per second. ऐसा ही है? 0. This was one way to do it. Otherwise, as your colleague had suggested, कि हम third किनेमैटिक इक्वेशन को डायरेक्टली भी यूज कर सकते थे, और अगर हम उसको डायरेक्टली यूज करते दिस दैट वाज Vy² इज इक्वल्स टू V नॉट y² +2a s minus s नॉट, विच टर्न्स आउट टू बी V नॉट y तो 0 है, -2g, और फाइनल s क्या है? -h. So my Vy would have just been 2 times 9.81 times 500 square root. ऐसा ही सुनिए आप? अच्छा वो अपना कर रही हो, सॉरी। और we have
यस
to
मैम
take the
वो भी
minus,
99 ही आया है।
we have to take the minus of the square root because it's acting downwards. Okay, sorry for completely disappearing and losing my mind. So now I have my Vy. I also know what my Vx is, because that stays the same as V naught x, which is of course 50 meters per second. ठीक है, ये तो दो चीजें हमारे पास, हमारी वेलोसिटी पूरी आ गई। Now comes the tricky part a little bit. एक second, I need. So now let's come to what we have. Oh. So I have at point B, when it's crashing down, it has a V naught x which is equals to 50 meters per second, and a V naught y which is equals to -99 meters per second. सॉरी ये क्या होता जा रहा है इसको। सो मतलब ये कि टू द राइट इट्स 50 एंड देन डाउनवर्ड्स इट्स, व्हाट डू आई डू? मे बी कलर चेंज करूं, इसकी वजह से हो रहा है, हू नोज। सो टू द राइट इट्स 50 and then downward हो भी सकता है। कभी कभी आई थिंक कि जब इफ़ यू राइट इन टू मच ऑन पावर पॉइंट सो इट कैंट कीप ट्रैक कि जितनी एनोटेशंस हो गई हैं उसकी वजह से भी इसको कुछ होना शुरू हो जाता है. तो लेट्स सी इट. So as I was saying, we have a v naught x which is equals to 50 meters per second, and I have a v naught y. This is for point B, by the way, when it was crashing at the ground. So v naught y is minus 99 roughly meters per second. What does this mean in vector terms? In xy coordinates, it means that I have a horizontal component of 50 and a vertical component of 99. So the velocity vector looks something like this, right? Now comes the, अब हम आते हैं कि ये हमारे Cartesian coordinate system में था when we were in our XY coordinates. Now remember कि हमने अपने normal and tangential components निकाले हैं, right? So हम सबको ये बात पता है कि velocity in the normal and tangential component is always acting in the tangential direction. तो हमें तो already इससे पता नहीं चल गया कि ये मेरी tangential direction होगी, ऐसा ही है ना? और because वो parabolic curve का भी मुझे थोड़ी बहुत shape का अंदाज़ा था, कैसे थी वो? It was falling like so, right? So I also then have a little bit of an idea कि इसका normal भी inwards इधर act कर रहा है. Right, let me, वो profile जो थी ना वो जहाज से यहाँ से drop होके was falling like this. That's why I'm saying कि n इधर inwards है. So if I find my magnitude from this rectilinear motion, तो फिर तो मुझे ऑलरेडी उसका एक तो कि v का मैग्नेट v पता चल गई मेरी टेंजेंशियल कंपोनेंट. So let's do that. So इसका v magnitude is what? 50 squared plus 99 squared square root. That comes out to be okay, great. So ये tangential direction क्या हुई at least? वो भी let's start to figure that out. कि xy तो इस डायरेक्शन में और नीचे ये t और n relative to the xy कौन सी डायरेक्शन में? So clearly if I want to get from my xy to my t component, then I need to move by some angle theta, जो कि क्या है? ये एंगल है ना? So what is this theta turn out to be?
Tan theta is equal to V naught Y over V of
Exactly
X.
right. It's equal to this 99
Vy. Yes, ma'am.
divided by 50. So what is that? 63.2. Very good. Okay. अब आते हैं इसी पे. तो velocity का हमारे पास magnitude भी आ गया. थोड़ा और सोचना है. हमारी क्या होता था वो हमारा formula for acceleration in the normal and tangential. Normal होता था v square divided by rho in the normal direction plus dv by dt in the tangential direction. ऐसा ही है. तो अब इसको मुझे इसका मैग्नीट्यूड फाइंड करना था. आई एम कमिंग टू दिस स्लोली. आई नो आई एम टेकिंग अ लॉन्ग टाइम बट मेरा प्रोसेसर की स्पीड थोड़ी स्लो है. ओके, सो थीटा आ गया. नाउ लेट्स थिंक के इवन इन द एक्स वाई कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम जो अभी हम ऑपरेट कर रहे थे, डू वी ऑल्सो नो के व्हाट इज द एक्सेलरेशन? एग्जैक्टली राइट. आई नो कि ए एक्स तो 0 है और ए वाई है ओनली इन द 9.81 मीटर्स पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. मतलब ये कि मुझे पहले ही पता है कि एक्सेलरेशन का वेक्टर इज समथिंग लाइक दिस. तो अगर मैं उसके कंपोनेंट सीधे सीधे फाइंड कर लूँ इन माय n and t कोऑर्डिनेट्स, दैट इज मेरा n कोऑर्डिनेट ऐसे है and my t coordinate is like this. Sorry, t coordinate is like this and n coordinate is like this. So where I know that this angle was theta, this one. right? So I can project my vertical acceleration into my n. Sorry, फिर मैंने गलत. Sorry, this is meant to be t direction and my n direction. उनके अंदर I can project it, right? So let me try to do. If this is theta, then this is theta. So that means that I'm getting my. Yeah, this would have been my a n component, and this would have been my a t component. So my a t turns out to be ay times sine of theta. Right, ये ay है, this one is ay and this is at. So ay sine theta, which is equal to 9.81 times the magnitude है ये. मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर एंड ए एन क्या होगा? दैट वुड बी ए वाई का मैग्नीट्यूड cos थीटा में प्रोजेक्टेड, दिस वन. So sorry, 4.42 meters per second. Nice. Okay, so finally I do have my normal and tangential components as the question was asking. The last thing that's still left, unfortunately, is कि radius of curvature भी हमने find करना था. And how we can do that is कि if we think carefully कि अब जब हमारे पास normal component आ गया है, this an, this one, then I know that this is equal to v squared divided by rho, जहाँ पे v क्या थी? The magnitude of the velocity. So that is then, I think कि बहुत सारे सवाल आते जा रहे हैं. And just solving this, I can find my radius of curvature. I apologize, I am rushing through this a little bit because I was running out of time. But let me just explain again कि हमने broadly speaking किया क्या था. Broadly speaking, all that we did was कि point A का तो straightforward हो गया था, right? Because the n and t coordinates were coinciding with the horizontal and vertical direction. It was only point B where things were getting a little tricky. And what we did was that we first analyzed the problem in rectilinear motion, in rectilinear coordinates, that is Cartesian coordinates. Sorry, मेरा दिमाग वो हो गया. In Cartesian coordinates, this is curvilinear motion. We analyzed it in Cartesian coordinates. और उससे we managed to find कि हमारा velocity in the horizontal direction and velocity in the vertical direction क्या है. And once we have that, Vx and Vy, then using these two we can find the magnitude of velocity. And also we know that velocity is always tangential to the path of motion. That is, it's in the tangential direction. So using the x and y components of the velocity vector, हम निकाल सकते थे कि okay, मेरी tangential direction क्या होनी है, और उसी से फिर मुझे मेरी normal direction भी पता चल गई, और इसका मैंने angle निकाल लिया using the velocity vector. ठीक है जी, तो nt coordinates आ गए. And now that I know कि मेरी nt coordinates की direction क्या है, then I can very straightforwardly project my acceleration जो कि vertical downwards act कर रही होती है onto my n and t and n coordinates. ठीक है, और इस तरह I found those respective components. And then finally, when I know my normal component of the acceleration, then I can use this straightforward expression to find the radius. Okay, a lot of thoda, I think, jumbled up and going too fast, but please at home do go through. There are a few more examples related to this exact problem. So I really want कि आप लोग example 4 को go through करें in this जो slides के अंदर हैं. So you must go through this at home, and then we will discuss it when we meet next time. example 4, and there's a simple example 5 and 6, which you don't really need to do, but they're still in there for you to go through, and we will discuss them when we meet next.